What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Agnetha, and we're returning for another one of the bonus tunes included in this expanded edition of her 1985 album Eyes of a Woman. Thank you again to Scott. And the next track is Turn the World Around, which sounds like a massive undertaking, though depending on the involvement of others, it could be a shared endeavor. One would be inclined to see hope or optimism implicit in the title, meaning if you don't think you can change anything, you would be pessimistic or cynical or disinclined to try to alter the state of affairs. So, in that regard, it sounds like a forward looking and again hopeful type of track. Of course, it may start on a more fundamental level, meaning a number of songs about changing the world at large, or society, or culture, or politics, often have a reflective element, meaning one must begin to change psychologically and behaviorally yourself, and only then can you interact with others with shared interest and principles or goals to make larger changes en masse. So yes, ultimately I don't quite know what to expect, but it sounds like a positive, hopeful sentiment. Of course, you could turn the world around for worse or for malevolent reasons, though I find that exceedingly unlikely. Let's give it a listen. This is Agnetha. The tune is Turn the World Around, and it's a bonus track included on this expanded edition of her 1985 album Eyes of a Woman. was a very long and gradual fade, only for it to then drop off very suddenly as it got close to petering out. So, lyrically, I feel like it was more or less in line with what I was thinking, though a bit more narrowly, which is to say, it sounds like someone who wants to change the world but is seemingly acknowledging that it has to begin in one's own behavior and perhaps among others, and that there are things out in the world that need changing, but also seemingly, and this is where I didn't anticipate the sentiment, that they shouldn't look too far ahead, meaning one should try to change what you can in the here and now and recognize that that will require alterations or behavioral approaches of your own, which can then, in connection with other people, maybe change larger aspects of culture and society, but not getting too far ahead of yourself because tomorrow's out of sight. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, and those problems will come when they come, and we'll try to deal with them when they're there. But for now, let's change what we need to change today and to not try to predict what tomorrow's going to be, because ultimately we will likely make a wrong move or lose sight of what can be altered in the moment. So, yes, if I'm hearing that right, I feel like that was more or less the sentiment that, yes, we need to turn the world around, but we also need to be careful how we're doing it and not get ahead of ourselves, because that could, of course, counteract the very thing we're trying to do as time plays out. So, yeah, I enjoy her vocals. Sonically, I was intrigued because there were multiple layers that were very rapid fire. It even sounded at the very beginning kind of like one of those evening news musical stings when they, come back from a commercial or when a broadcast of a news program starts, and they'll have that little musical lead-in and like, hello, I am so-and-so with Channel 5 News. It sounded like one of those musical atmosphere setting scenes, and then as it went along, it was relatively stripped down. It wasn't a very dense sound, but I enjoyed the parts. There was a bit of a bass groove that was not recurrent, not constant or cyclical, but a bit recurrent, just a little bass riff, every bar or every at the end of every measure. I also enjoyed that guitar solo, which really seemed to rise up out of nothing, and ultimately at first I thought it was maybe a violin, but I think it was a guitar, and that had a bit of an epic quality, even though it was relatively confined to a small part of the track. And yeah, basically sonically nothing particularly standout or mesmerizing, but seemingly fitting to the rhythm and Agnetha's vocals of the song quite well. So yeah, basically curious to hear what people have to say about this one. Do we have 3 more to go? I think 3 more bonus tunes to go. Once again, shout out to Scott. We shall continue with the next one very soon. Peace.